Hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and I am a huge Stephen King fan, and we just got some new news, some new comments from Mike Flanagan about his upcoming, hopefully, adaptation of Revival, and I want to talk about it. So let's do that. Now, Mike Flanagan is known very much as being a horror director. He's done such films as Hush, Oculus, Before I Wake, Ouija, Origin of Evil. He also showran, if that is in fact a word, the brilliant Netflix series The Haunting of Hill House, and is currently working on the follow-up season The Haunting of Bly Manor, based on The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. And now, he's talking Stephen King again. Now, much like myself, Mike Flanagan is a constant reader and huge Stephen King fan, and he directed 2017's Gerald's Game for Netflix, and last year's Dr. Sleep, both of which I absolutely loved. I was a huge fan of Gerald's Game, the novel, always wanted to see it as a movie, could never figure out how that could possibly be done, and when Flanagan was given the gig, I watched his flick Oculus, because I'd never seen any of his films. I was like, that was good. And he killed it with Gerald's Game. That ended up being my favorite movie of that year. And last year when he put out his adaptation of King's The Shining sequel, Dr. Sleep, I loved that too. It made my top 10 of the year list. Now, a while back it was reported that Flanagan would be working on an adaptation of King's 2014 novel, Revival. And given Flanagan's track record with King properties, I was automatically on board. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not Flanagan is actually going to direct Revival. He's currently on board as producer and writer. And he recently sat down with the Kingcast, a podcast for constant readers and Stephen King enthusiasts, and told the host that he had turned in the first draft of his screenplay for Revival, and that Stephen King, quote, loved it, end quote. Revival itself is a pretty harrowing read, though admittedly I've only read it once and that was like 6 years ago. I am going to give you a quick synopsis of the book's plot. There will be mild spoilers, I'm not going to get into anything crazy, but if you don't want to know anything about the novel, I guess click off this video, maybe go read the book, it's really good, maybe you'll come back and watch this later. So that's your spoiler warning. We good? We're good. So the story is centered on Minister Charles Jacobs, who shows up in this small Maine town, and he instantly garners the love and respect of his flock, including young Jamie Morton, who looks up to him. However, after the minister's wife and child are killed in a car wreck, he renounces God and leaves town. Years later, Morton, now a traveling musician or roadie or something I don't remember exactly, who's addicted to heroin, reconvenes with the minister, finding him now to be a sort of faith-healing, almost snake oil salesman, using these strange electricity therapies to cure his flock of circus tent followers of their various ailments. Striking up a newfound friendship, Jacob uses his therapies to treat Morton's heroin addiction, and the book gets considerably darker from there. Again, it's been quite a while since I've read the novel, but as I recall, it is really dark. There are elements of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, there's a lot of Lovecraft horror going on, and while some have criticized Flanagan's work for being overly sentimental, not necessarily something I would agree with, but I do understand the criticism, this is a chance for Flanagan to go balls to the wall dark. So let's get to his comments, shall we? Flanagan told the podcast, quote, "It's a return to cosmic horror, which I think is so fun. It is relentlessly dark and cynical, and I'm enjoying the hell out of that. I think a lot of King's work is like this too. There's a safety in the sentimental approach to a lot of these stories, and this is just bleak and mean, and I like it for that. I haven't gotten to end a movie that way since, geez, Absentia maybe Ouija. This one was a really fun piece of material for me because I get to be like, oh, you want a dark ending? Cool, get ready." He added, "I've gotten pretty good about digging my heels in on stuff like that. It's a lot easier to do. I can talk a big game when I've got Stephen King in my corner advocating for the same ending." He then concluded with, "I will be very curious to see if they let me make it," which, given that the project is still in the scripting stage, suggests to me that this is not a done deal or a foregone conclusion yet. Further, when he says, "curious to say if they'll let me make it," I have to assume the they being Warner Brothers, the studio that produced and distributed Flanagan's Dr. Sleep. And while Dr. Sleep did have a mostly positive critic rating, most people seemed to like it. Nobody went to see it. It crashed and burned at the box office, making $72 million worldwide. So I could see Warner Brothers, if that is in fact the they that he's talking about, I could see them balking at this project. I'm a big fan of the novel Revival and the works of Mike Flanagan. I would easily put him up there with the other directors who have best adapted King's work, like Frank Darabont, who of course did The Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile and The Mist, and Rob Reiner, who did Stand By Me and misery. I love that he's talking going hardcore and not getting sentimental. Sentimentality can work really well for certain things, but I don't think it would work well for a book that is so specifically nasty. I do have a lot of hope for this project. I'm at the point now where if Flanagan wants to adapt a King novel, I know as an audience member, I'm in good hands. So I really hope this happens. And obviously, currently, there is no release date for this film. So those are my thoughts on this story about Mike Flanagan and Revival. And now I want to know, what do you think of his comments? Have you read Revival? What did you think about it? What Stephen King book would you most like to see adapted into a film that hasn't already been done? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.